Good morning, BST. My name is Elijah Abdul Sayed. Welcome to this special episode of BST Talks. As you may know, BST Talks has posted many videos about how to stop procrastination, one of the more important and common issues among BST students. Today, I want to present some tips on how to stop this bad habit in one cohesive episode as an ultimate guide to preventing procrastination. I believe that achieving this has three parts. Part 1 is finding out what is causing your procrastination. Part 2 is finding out how to stop whatever may be causing that. And Part 3 is actually stopping your procrastination. First, we will focus on Part 1, finding out what is causing you to procrastinate. This can be many different things, each with a different solution. One example of something causing procrastination could be perfectionism. If you're worried about doing whatever task you're presented with perfectly, you can end up holding it off and possibly doing nothing at all. Maybe you're simply not interested in a task, or you don't find its content engaging enough to motivate you to start. In some cases, you might be avoiding discomfort of failure, frustration, or just the effort it takes to begin. Another thing that might cause you to procrastinate could be feeling overwhelmed by the task at hand. You might look at a big project and think, I can't possibly do all this, which leads to putting it off and thinking that you'll do it later. This is what causes procrastination for me. That seemingly innocent yet extremely dangerous phrase, I'll do it later. And when later comes, you think the same thing, I'll do it later. There's no specified time to later. And thinking like that can cause you to put your assignment off to the last minute, causing your submission to not be your best work because you were rushed when trying to complete it. So how do you prevent this? It's quite simple. Instead of thinking, I'll do it later, simply think, I'll do it in an hour. By doing this, you're planning out a real, specific time to work on the assignment, not just later. A more practical way to go about this is by making a daily planner to plan out the work that you want to do that day for each subject. This is the method that I personally use, and I cross out every assignment when I'm done with it. Not only does this help with self-accountability, but it also feels really good when all of your to-do list is crossed out. It gives somewhat of a feeling of success. Plus, it's fun. If you've realized that perfection is your issue, the first thing you need to do is accept that no task will ever be perfect. This can be tough, especially if you have high standards for yourself. But remember that progress is better than perfection. In the end, being the best is not as important as doing your best. To prevent taking too long an assignment due to attempting perfection, try setting a timer for a short period, like 25 minutes, and just focus on getting the assignment done. Once you're in the flow, you may find that you take longer than you expected, but that's still okay because you've made progress. It might not be perfect, but still, progress. Progress is key. For those of you who might be procrastinating due to a lack of interest in what you are working on, try breaking down the task into smaller, more manageable chunks. Often, we put things off because the task seems like a huge mountain to climb, or too much of the same, boring thing. But if you break it down into tiny steps and complete them in intervals throughout the day, it doesn't feel so daunting. Plus, once you get started, you might find that the task isn't as bad as you once thought. And now, finally, part 3, actually doing the work. This is where things get difficult. It's easy to talk about how to stop procrastination, but the real challenge is doing it and following through. One thing I recommend is setting clear, realistic goals for each study session. Don't just say, I'm going to study today. Instead, think, I'm going to read 3 chapters of the AP Euro AMSCO book. Be specific, and then get to work. Another method to prevent procrastination is the Pomodoro technique, where you set a timer for 25 minutes, work without distractions, and then take a 5-minute break. After 4 sessions, you can take a longer break. This method can help you focus and reduce burnout by giving your brain regular rest. Finally, eliminate distractions. If your phone or social media are big distractions for you, then put your phone on silent in order to help you stay more focused for longer periods of time. Thanks for listening, guys. I hope you enjoyed this short episode of the ultimate guide to preventing procrastination. And remember, be your best at BST.